Howdy folks. I'm going to do a little video today on this coronavirus and maybe some of the preparations you should make to protect yourself just in case it becomes a pandemic here in the US. Now it's already started in China and it already is a pandemic over there. Thousands of people have had it, and the videos that I've seen showed people dead in the hallways, which was amazing. They were just wrapped in sheets in the hallways of the emergency rooms and not even moved because they had no place to put them. So I'm going to start off with some just little details. Number one, the less you're around crowds, the better. The less you're around people that are around crowds, the better. In other words, if you're only around one or two people, that's fine. But what if the one or two people spend all day at a local mall and they work there, and every night they come home and they call you and you go and visit with them? Well, then you're putting yourself at risk. That's number one. Number two, this video isn't meant to scare anybody or to hype up anything. It's meant to be informative. I'm not an expert. I don't work for the CDC. I know people that are in emergency management, and I know what they've told me. One of the phrases that I heard was, "It isn't the nuclear bombs that keep me up at night. It's not the EMP. It's not the riots in the street. It's not the stock market crash or the electrical grid going down. It's a biological event, a pandemic, whether it's man-made or whether it's nature-made, or whether it's a combination of both." So, that's one of the things. And listen, I may be bouncing around a little bit today. My sugar's a little bit high right now, so my concentration level isn't what it should be, and I may jump from one to the other. And I'm not really a technologically advanced genius when it comes to even these iPhones, so to speak, or in my case, the Sony I got here. So I really don't know how to pause it and then start. So that's probably the simplest things I probably should know. But usually my wife's here with me and she's doing the videos. But I decided, since today was such a beautiful day, that I'd get out there and share it with you. Now, as I'm sitting here talking, my daughter called from Massachusetts and said, I go, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, we're getting ready to go out to eat. We're going to lunch at such and such a place." And she couldn't see me. But while she was saying that, I'm going, because she knows better. The opportunity to put yourself at risk. Now, this thing has supposedly, from what I hear, if it's accurate, and I heard this from somebody from emergency management, that there's up to a 15-day incubation period in this thing. So you may have it for 15 days and not even know it, and at the same time be contagious. That means you could be spreading around, showing no symptoms, walking among the public, going to school, going grocery shopping, going bowling, whatever your hobby is, and next thing you know, you're getting sick. So in 15 days, you have come in contact just at the local grocery stores, at the gas station, the pumps that you pump the gas in. That's just a couple of the places, but you probably come in contact with, I don't know, 250 people? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. In 15 days, you can come in contact with a lot of people. And then each one of them people have come in contact with how many in 15 days? I don't know. Maybe it's 150 people, maybe it's 100, maybe it's 50 people, but you can see how this multiplies real quick and can become real dangerous real quick. And I emphasize again, I'm not trying to scare nobody, I'm not trying to make anybody nervous, but I do want to be informative. I want people that care and have a natural inquisitive attitude about things to maybe do some research on this and see where you stand on this. Maybe there's something you can do. Now, I've already broke a protocol today. I broke a protocol today. I had a friend come by and visit me, and he goes up towards the interstate and relaxes and sits there at a restaurant and has coffee and maybe breakfast and chit chats with people. But it's a thoroughfare, and it's a thoroughfare for people. It's a corridor because it is an interstate, and the place where he goes, there's a gas station there and a bunch of other stuff, and so people going in and out, in and out, in and out. Who knows? 2,000 people a day go in and out of there. So anyway, I had him come over, and I didn't tell him no. What I should have done was position my chairs in a different position where I'd have been upwind from him instead of downwind from him. I didn't do that. Didn't notice no reactions on him. I did know that he did cough a little bit and sneeze once. Hey, maybe it's it. Maybe it's done spread. I don't know. But see, I'm not even following the protocol. It's hard. It's hard. But I want people to do as I say, not as I do, as my mom used to say when I was growing up. I'm just joking. Now my cough, I don't have a cold. I've always had a cough ever since my hippie days. Anyway, so my friend that lives in Carolina the other day, let's call him John, called up yesterday, no, it was this morning, and he said, Bobby, because I got my mask, and I went up and I picked up some more precious metals. I got some gold and some silver, and one of the most important, there's 3 precious metals that you need to attain: gold, silver, and lead. Don't go trying to sell lead, but when it comes in the form of a bullet, that's a precious metal in hard times. So anyway, I talked to him, and he said that when he ordered his dehydrated food, which he's already got plenty of, but he decided to go ahead and order some more, so which means he maybe is reluctant and really doesn't have enough. But he should know better, because he's a /survivalist prepper type person and always been that way. And me and him went to school together. But he said that the guy that he was talking to said, hey, we're out of it. We got just enough. He goes, you're one of the last orders that we can send out. Because we had 2 big giant tractor trailers full of stuff, and it's almost all gone. He goes, all of it's spoken for. He goes, your order, maybe 1 or 2 more orders, and that was it. I talked to my daughter. She took one of her daughters. This is up in Massachusetts. And I'm just letting you know some local news that's happening in my family. She took her daughter to the doctor this week, and my daughter said, Dad, you would not believe how crowded the waiting room was. She goes, I've never seen it that way. The doctor told me it's the busiest that she's ever been. And she said, well, what is it? She goes, well, it's the flus. There's 3 types of flus. Now, she named the 3 types, but none of them were the corona. So that doctor didn't even want to talk about the coronavirus. As of this morning, there's been 5 people positively confirmed on this continent. I don't know if that includes Canada or if that's just the U.S. But I just wanted you to see. I got to get some water. Don't mind me. I may be doing this several times during this video. Diabetes makes you type 2, I think. Makes you thirsty all the time. Well, sorry about the interruption there. Like I said, I don't know how to put this on pause, and I didn't want to start a second video, so I continued, and I may do that a couple times. So y'all have to bear with me. So anyway, the doctor's office was slam packed with people that had the flu. Well, there's 3 different types of flus, that doctor said. She didn't bring up the corona. She brought up the other 3 types that are going around locally. And she's just assuming that none of them are the corona. Yeah. But she says all the ones that she did test already tested positive for the flu. I wonder how accurate them tests are. So 15 days, no symptoms. You can walk around spreading it to who knows who. Friends, family members, local grocery stores, gas stations, hardware stores, your local Lowe's, Home Depot, big box stores, and you can spread it. So what am I doing? Well, other than violate my own protocols, I do have a lot of masks. I do have a lot of gloves and goggles and such, and I even got decontamination suits. I mean, I'm talking about the right gear for the right thing. You know, I got some for the whole family plus some. I got food stocked up, but I just felt this urge to go out and buy some powdered milk, so I went out and bought some more powdered milk. I didn't buy much, but I need to go out and probably buy another 50 pounds or 100 pounds of powdered milk. I might, I need to get some more buckets. I'm filling my buckets with rice and beans as fast as I can fill them. And that's pretty bland, and it gets old real quick, but hey, I'll live with it. So get your food in order. I got my big Berkey water purifier. I need extra filters. I haven't done it. Get yourself some extra filters. Big Berkey water purifiers. Big Berkey. 1 gallon, 3 gallon, maybe even 5 gallon. I don't know. But the filters are excellent filters used by missionaries in the deepest, darkest continents where there's no pure water and the water's contaminated in Mexico or wherever. The missionaries use it. Okay, so you got your water, you got your food, got medical supplies. And the medical supplies can be very detailed. You got your mask and your goggles and all that protective gear. But, you may want to have some Tylenol, ibuprofen, decongestant nasal spray. You may want to have some, I take iodine drops from Infowars.com. Go to Infowars.com and you can get a good deal on Nation's iodine. It's one of the best forms of iodine that you can get. It comes from like 3,000 feet deep into the earth. It's not extracted out of sea salt that may be contaminated. This is down low. So the iodine is also good. So you got your iodine. Then you got there's other things. There's other forms of medications. Silver solutions. You can make your own silver water if you got a 99.99% silver coin and a 9-volt battery and some and a jar of water. You can make your own silver water solution. Get some bleach so where you can clean your countertops. Most very seldom. This would be the first video that I've ever made on biological contaminants and diseases. But I felt a need necessary. My brother, like I said, he's even concerned. And he said that nothing worries him. None of the nuclear stuff worries him. Economic collapse don't worry him. He said the only thing that keeps him awake at night is the biological. Because it can happen. And he was on the phone yesterday with the CDC on a conference call. And he told me last night that nothing had changed other than the fact that they're waiting to prove they're waiting to prove that it may be contagious. But when it comes to something like this, they're always chasing it. They never get ahead of the game. So that's the thing that I don't want to do. So that's why I've stocked up on the food, and that's why I've stocked up on medical supplies. Get your aspirin and baby aspirin and your Tylenol and your ibuprofen and such, and get all that stuff together. And if you have any problem with yellow jackets, make sure you got your EpiPen if you're allergic to bees or yellow jackets. And I'm not allergic, but I got one buzzing around me, driving me nuts here. So, these are the things. And, practice some of your natural herbs too, by the way. Your rosemary tinctures. Excellent for viruses, I think, or bacteria. No, viruses. Your vinegar and stuff like that. That's all good cleaning solutions if you don't use bleach. Have yourself some hand wipes when you go inside the store. If you're not embarrassed, wear a mask. If you are, you see somebody coughing, leave the store. You can always go back in later. You can wait till that person leaves. Wait till the air settles down, but don't get next to them. So you go into the store, you see somebody coughing, you walk outside, take note of what they look like, wait till they leave, wait a couple minutes till the air settles, go back in, get your supplies, come outside, hand cleaner, keep it on your person, wash your hand, do it two or three times instead of just doing it once like you normally do with some hand sanitizer. Put it on your hands. Then rub it on your steering wheel. I always rub it on my steering wheel. On my gear shift, I rub it on my gear shift. You'll see me put some on my hand and touch my doorknob with it where I go in and out of my door in my vehicle. All those things are little things that you can write down and make a checklist. If I go out, I do this. If I stay home, I'm doing this. But I just want to encourage people to begin to take some sort of preparation. My hope is that this is just nothing. But China has lost control already. The schools have been closed now in Hong Kong. They're going to be closed through February. Listen, when you look at live video of a huge city in China that has 10 lanes in the city, and you see one guy on a moped wearing a mask and goggles, and one guy in a little car driving by, and that's all you see for 5 minutes. That tells you something. They have lost containment. They're not going to be able to control it. I forgot what the count is up to now, but it's up to a lot. 10,000 maybe or something like that. They're saying 4,000 or 5,000, but they can't even get rid of the dead people that are in the doggone hallways of the hospital and emergency room. Don't make the mistakes. Do what you got to do to get prepared. There's other things. I could go down a long list. Maybe get yourself a CB radio or ham radio where you can communicate locally. You can talk to neighbors down the street without having to go over there. And maybe even call a neighborhood meeting. Get together with all your friends and family that you think might be susceptible or want to listen to this, and that care about it, and share it with them. And it's not a time to panic, but it's a time to prepare. A lot of people prepared everything else but this. So get together a little coalition. You can call it the Liberty Bell Coalition, named by a great patriot, Schaefer Cox out of Alaska. God bless him. It's a shame what's happened to him. In the old days, they used to call it the Neighborhood Peace Coalition or something, where they help keep the peace and they work together. Now, listen, the big cities are quarantined. 5 of them, I think. 5. I'm talking about million plus people cities have quarantined themselves already in China. The little towns outside the cities have quarantined themselves on their own without government officials, and they're not letting anybody go in or out. They may make an exception and let somebody pass through as long as they know they're actually going through. They probably have a radio at one end of town and a radio at the other end of town, a radio in the middle, and they say, I'm sending him through. He's in a white pickup truck. Check in at the center point and check in at the outgoing point. So, these are all things we need to do. Can you grow your own food? Do you got backup power? Is your backup power something that isn't going to become a generator? A generator's okay, but you better hope you got a huge propane tank or a huge diesel tank with stuff to treat it. Because diesel can last for a few years. Gas can be treated and maybe last a year or so, but you'll go through it a lot. Solar's real good. Get some solar. If you went out and you've vacationed here and you went and did this and did that, and then all of a sudden something happens, I'll do like Danny and Wanda from Deep South Homestead say, a life-changing event. happens, and it's not local, and it's major, are you going to be thinking, wow, I knew I should have done that yesterday. Man, doggone it, I can't believe I didn't do that. Man, I knew it. I knew I should have got that done. Are you going to be one of those? Listen, even the most prepared is going to have some kind of regret. But are the regrets going to kill you? Are not having what you need going to kill you? So this video is for family, friends, and whoever else may want to entertain. I encourage you to like and subscribe. I'm just joking. I have no idea what that means on YouTube. I know how to like and I know how to subscribe, but I don't know how to do it on my own. And I don't even know if you can on mine or not. Nancy does all that. But if you could pass this on to other people, pass it on. Tell some friends about it, you know. And believe me, I don't. You'll see. I don't have a whole lot of subscribers, and I'm not in it for that. I'm in it for the information. I just want to give information to people. You know, there's an old saying a long time ago that I heard. If it's within you to do good, and you don't do good, then you're going to be held accountable. If somebody's over there getting ready to do something that I know is hazardous to their health, and I don't speak up, hey, you know, I before God, I believe I'm accountable if I don't speak up, at least mention it once. You know, it'd be like me with my kids when they were little. I'll never forget sitting there with me and my wife, and we had some friends over, and we're watching, and all of a sudden I see one of my kids going over to the light socket, and he's got a bobby pin. He's fixing to stick it in there. And I reached over and I tapped him on the shoulder, and my wife and the friends, I go, watch this. Do you think that's really what I did? Heck no, I stood up and I stopped him. I didn't say, hey, watch what's going to happen. He's going to learn a lesson. No, I didn't say that. I stopped him. So, and I actually got that story from somebody else, but I had to share it. You know, I find it amusing. So that's some of the tidbits that I'd like to share for you. If you're employed right now, and it looks like it's starting to get bad, but you're not sure, and you can take some vacation time and maybe get away for a little while. Get your kids out of school for a while, maybe write them a note, just till this thing blows over a little bit. It would be wise to do so. You know, I think it'd be wise. Make sure you have your own trigger point. I got my trigger point. Make sure you have your own trigger point. You know, the stock market yesterday went down. I think yesterday was the 26th. I'm not sure, maybe the 27th. Well, today's Tuesday, so look on your calendar, 2020. So, but the stock market went down 400 points. It jumped back up this morning. But there's going to be economic, I mean, if you don't think that economically something's going to happen from this also, this is just a little sidebar. If you don't think economically something's going to happen also, then you're crazy, because China imports and exports so much stuff all over the world. And listen, by the way, none of that stuff's being checked when it's being brought into your local Walmart or being brought into your local grocery stores. None of it's being checked. None of it's being sanitized. So some factory worker over there touched it. Maybe the germ incubates in maybe it's a closed area, in closed casing or something. And next thing you know, they're spreading it. Now, how this thing started, we don't know. It could have been from the lab that happens to be in Wunang, China. That's the city that it all started in. It could be from that lab. China is trying to say it's from eating bats and sticking snakes up your nose and eating live mice. I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't cause some other kind of disease. We don't know how it started, but we do know that we can prepare. Set yourself up a quarantine area for if it does get out of hand, where you can, family and friends when they come in, can be quarantined there. And I would keep it 30 days. I don't care if they say 15 days. I'd keep it 30 days, you know. They're going to be begging you, you know. You bring them food, drop it off, you know. Maybe stock the thing with paper plates and stuff. But stay away from them. You know, make sure that the place you're bringing it to is a good ways away. Now, listen, you need to be strategic about it. Here's why. If you're going to do something like that, take advantage of the situation. Put up 2 or 3 quarantine places. If you got family and friends coming from out of town, they're fortunate enough just that you're nice enough to let them onto the property. Well, you might as well put them out on the perimeter and have a radio there where they can be also a watchman for the perimeter. Why not, right? That's what I would do. There's some other little things that I'm doing, and I'll share the rest of it. I'm in the process of writing a fictional novel on a economic collapse. I may change that into a biological attack or something, who knows. But I'm a couple chapters into it already, and everybody I've shared it with finds it real interesting and can't wait till the book's finished and I can go ahead and carry it on. But anyway, the point is that you have a couple different areas where you can put people at, and you can bring them food, but they also double as watchmen. You know, they double as your LPOP watchman. All right, I'm gonna close this video now. I may add some more to it. I'm gonna have my wife try to download it later on. I hope it wasn't too boring. I hope I didn't get too scatterbrained or jump around too much. You know, one thing I will say is that we know it transfers from human to human. If it transfers from humans to animals, then there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do, because you can't stop birds from flying over your house. You know, you can't stop snakes from crawling up in your yard or mice running around. So, you know, you can do the best you can do, but you know, call your friends and family, share a little bit with them, tell them to watch this video when it comes up. If they have any questions, they can call me. I still got the same number that I've always had. Everybody knows what it is. Anyway, God bless you guys. I hope you take this seriously. I hope you think about the process of being prepared, and take advantage of the situation that you may have extra time here. You know, if there is something coming around. I don't know what else to say, but God bless you guys. And, you know, like my friend Dennis always says, is keep your powder dry and keep your eyes to the sky, because he's coming back soon. God bless you guys.